Day 2 of the Chauvin trial concludes. Asian hate crime breaks in New York, and OKC waits to make a decision on the city mask mandate. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Shannon Ehrhardt.
And I'm Audrey Goodson. We begin with Day 2 of the testimony of Derek Chauvin's murder trial. With the continued questioning of a professional mixed martial arts fighter who stumbled upon the last moments of George Floyd's life. A witness whose video of the interaction between Chauvin and Floyd went viral. Camila Bernal breaks down the big moments from court today.
I believe I witnessed a murder. I felt the need to call the police.
That's what Tuesday's first witness, Donald Williams, a professional mixed martial arts fighter, said in court when asked why he called 911 after witnessing the last moments between former officer Derek Chauvin and George Floyd last May. Then a tense back and forth during the defense's cross-examination, attorney Eric Nelson repeatedly asking Williams if he became angry on scene.
You called him bogus.
I did.
You called him a bum at least 13 times.
That's what you counted in the video?
That's what I counted.
And that's what you got, 13. I was arrested.
Williams, who also works security, insisted he was controlled and professional the entire time. The next witness, a minor at the time, who did not testify on camera and was identified as DF in court documents, told the jury why she decided to pull out her phone and record what was happening outside Cup Foods.
It wasn't right. He was suffering. He was in pain.
She ended by telling the jury she still wishes she had done more to stop Chauvin.
It's like, it's not what I should have done. It's what he should have done.
In Minneapolis, I'm Camila Bernal.
The last witness to testify today was Genevieve Hansen, a firefighter who was also a standbyer in the street when Floyd was held by police. She teared up during the questioning when she recalls she says she wanted to do to help Floyd, but she was kept away by police on the scene.
New York police are searching for a man who violently assaulted an elderly Asian woman. Today, the New York Police Department released disturbing surveillance video of the assault. The unidentified attacker is seen pushing the victim to the ground, kicking her repeatedly. According to the NYPD, the man said anti-Asian comments to the woman before pushing her to the ground, leading the department to label this a hate crime.
The Department of Justice launched a review on how to better combat hate crimes. Deyton Deller has this story and more of today's headlines from around the world.
Thanks, Audrey. Attorney General Merrick Garland ordered a review this afternoon of how the Justice Department can best apply their resources to combat hate crimes. This comes after the recent rise of hate crimes and incidents against the Asian American communities. Garland believes the only way to better combat the trend is for officials to emphasize the importance of investigation and prosecution against hate crimes, as well as increasing community outreach. In South Dakota, Governor Kristi Noem has issued executive orders to ban transgender girls and women from competing on women's sports teams in public high school and colleges.
Girls' sports give girls the opportunity to demonstrate their skill, their strength, and their athletic abilities. It also gives girls the opportunity to obtain recognition, to be successful, learn valuable life lessons, and also gain college scholarships or even an athletic career beyond high school and college.
The ban comes after South Dakota lawmakers failed to gain 2/3 of both houses to override Noem's partial veto to a transgender bill that would have created a similar prohibition. And this afternoon, Boulder, Colorado police officer Eric Talley was honored at a public memorial service. Talley was killed in last Monday's grocery store shootings. He was the first responder to the shootings that left him and 9 others dead. A police procession to Flatirons Community Church preceded the service. Talley leaves behind his wife and 7 children. And good news for anyone having trouble paying back student loans. The Biden administration approved a pause on student loan interest and collection fees for those who have defaulted on their loans. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Deyton. A University of Oklahoma health sciences professor has been arrested on 20 counts of indecent or lewd acts with a child under 16. Mckenzie Gladney joins us live from the newsroom with more details.
Shannon, this is a developing story. The professor has been identified as Alan Weichman, who's had involvement with the Department of Cell Biology. Now, here's what we know. Weichman faces 20 different counts of indecent or lewd acts. Some even date back to 2016. We also know that Weichman has been placed on administrative leave. Now, a statement from an OU spokesperson says, in light of recent information, Mr. Weichman was immediately placed on administrative leave pending further investigation. OU is cooperating with law enforcement officials and can confirm that in his role at OU Health Science Center, Mr. Weichman had no contact with minors or patients as part of his work at the university. Due to the confidential nature of this personnel issue, this is the extent of the university's comment at this time. Now, as the story continues to develop, OU Nightly will keep you updated. Ladies, back to you at the desk.
Oklahoma City City Council met this morning to discuss lifting the city mask mandate earlier than planned. The ordinance is currently set to expire on April 30th, and the council voted to postpone the decision until April 13th. Norman Chief Communications Officer Annalise Meyer says OKC's decision doesn't really have an impact on Norman. Norman's mask mandate is still set to expire June 1st, but Meyer did say there's a possibility for relaxing capacity restrictions leading up to the mandate's expiration.
And more Oklahomans are getting their COVID-19 vaccinations, but the CDC and state health department report new COVID cases are still out there. The CDC provisionary data states that Oklahoma sees roughly 360 new cases this week, with about 10,900 current active cases. The total death count for the state is just above 7,800.
The Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics and Medical Marijuana Authority are investigating THC edibles after 2 children were hospitalized earlier this week. The hospitalizations are a result of ingesting chips resembling popular retail chip brands. The difference between the THC chips and the retail brand are small California medical marijuana logos near the bottom of the bags. The OBN says everyone should avoid these products, adding they may come from unregistered sellers.
And you know, it's sunny right now. I was walking here today to do the newscast and it felt great out there. What do you think?
It was super nice, but Colton, is that going to stay around?
Yeah, I mean, it felt really, really good this afternoon, but if you've been out in the last 30 minutes to an hour or so, well, we've had a cold front begin to move through, and well, we can see that. Still got some places hanging out in the 70s, but now you see places to the north and northwest, well, they're going to be dropping down into the 50s, and well, that's just going to be the case this evening now as our front has lined up here in the southeastern portion of the state, winds behind it coming from the north, and that's going to continue into this evening. Tomorrow morning, well, we're going to be seeing 40s. Wind chills could dip into below freezing tomorrow. Rain chances tonight. We've got a quieter week ahead and a freeze watch. I'll let you know about all that and more coming up in the full weather segment. For now, ladies, back to you.
Elon Musk's 4th experimental rocket exploded today. The problem remains unknown as to why these test flights are exploding.
And Google Maps is utilizing their green thumb more efficiently. Stay tuned for what drivers should look out for. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Last Thursday, lawmakers met with the CEOs of several social media platforms. Emma, what'd they say about their platform's involvement in those Capitol riots?
The executive titans of social media are facing lawmakers' questions about their platform's connection to online disinformation and the January 6th Capitol riots. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey late last week was the only executive to answer directly when he asked if he believed his platform played a role in the riots.
Yes, but you also have to take into consideration a broader ecosystem. It's not just about the technology platforms we use. Thank you.
The 5-hour hearing marked the first time lawmakers directly questioned the CEOs since the January riots. Another SpaceX experimental rocket exploded earlier today. This is the 4th prototype SpaceX has launched on a high-altitude test flight. All 3 previous ones either crash-landed or exploded shortly after landing. The company doesn't know or isn't saying what's happening with today's launch, and investigators won't be able to examine the area around the rocket until debris is cleared. Google Maps won't default to get you to your destination the fastest way possible anymore. The company says instead the navigation algorithm will soon automatically select the most fuel-efficient route. It will consider things like hills and traffic to help reduce your environmental impact. But don't worry about things taking too long. Google says it will only direct drivers to the greenest option when the estimated time of arrival is similar to other routes. But guys, if you don't want to use this eco route, Google Maps says you can change the feature in your settings. Shannon, Audrey, back to you.
Thanks, Emma. April is the beginning of Child Abuse Prevention Month. The Oklahoma State Department of Health and Community Partners are inviting Oklahomans to join them in raising awareness of child abuse. Oklahomans are encouraged to take the Child Abuse Prevention Super Challenge by completing 5 tasks. The tasks include wearing blue on April 1st, decorating a tree with a blue ribbon, and encouraging children to color their happiest day. Parents and teachers can post these drawings on social media using the hashtag #PictureABrighterFuture.
The one reason it's important is because in the state of Oklahoma, we have risen to the point where annually we have just over 15,000 cases of child abuse and neglect that are substantiated.
The number of reported child abuse cases has risen in Oklahoma over the last 10 years.
With COVID wiping out Easter celebrations last year, the Norman Easter egg hunt is making a comeback.
And there's multiple ways you can participate in the holiday fun.
Colton, how should we dress for this Easter egg hunt?
Hey, we're going to talk about all that and more coming up in the full weather forecast. All right, welcome back to OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us. I'm Colton Williams. Folks, we're taking a live look now at downtown Oklahoma City. What a gorgeous picture, a beautiful blue sky out there. Cold front did move through, and you notice that temperatures are dropping now, 64 in Oklahoma City. Winds, they're out of the north now, and well, you can feel it. You can definitely tell if you get outside, and that's what we're seeing here now. We've got this cold front that did push through this afternoon, and ahead of it this evening, we're expecting some showers and some thunderstorms to develop. As it moves through, well, some showers and storms, they will develop. The real problem with the showers, though, that should probably occur in Arkansas, so no need to worry for Oklahoma. But still, though, on the eastern sides of the metro here, Lincoln, Ofuskie, Creek counties, well, we could be seeing some showers overnight tonight into the early hours of tomorrow morning. So be sure to keep that in mind overnight tonight. But then by tomorrow, cloud cover clears out. It's a gorgeous afternoon, and well, hey, no problem there. So still a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms down in the southeastern portion of the state this evening, but realistically, nothing really to worry about here in the central portion of the state. Now, with that cold front pushed through, well, we do have a freeze watch for northern Oklahoma and far northeastern Oklahoma. Something to keep in mind. Don't keep your plants out this evening because tomorrow morning will be actually pretty cold, so you certainly don't want to keep those plants out overnight tonight. Lows tonight statewide going to be dipping into the 40s here in Oklahoma City. Norman, we should stay around average, but in the northwestern portion of the state, well, they could be seeing temperatures below freezing this evening, and that's just all once again due in part to that cold front that came through. Tomorrow, high is going to be pushed down into the 60s for most of us here in Oklahoma, and that's going to be much of the story as we go throughout the day tomorrow. But realistically, a much quieter pattern setting up here now we see over the next few days. Look at this, 1, 2, 3 high pressure systems setting up all around Oklahoma. That's going to keep we're going to stay high and dry over the next few days here as we continue, as we really look into, well, the next several days and into this weekend, still going to continue to stay dry. So not typical for springtime for us, but hey, we've got 60s and 70s all over the 7 days, so I'd say we're doing pretty good. Easter Sunday looks nice, 74. Monday sitting in the upper 70s. Tuesday, we could even begin to approach 80. I'd say we're doing pretty good, ladies. How about you?
I think we're doing pretty good as well. The Norman Easter egg hunt is back and will be hosted at Reeves Park Friday at 6 p.m. There will be 2 hunts for different age groups, 2 disability-friendly hunts, and a socially distanced Easter egg photo booth. Parents can also choose to get candy through a drive-through and do the city Easter egg hunt at home. Norman Recreation Superintendent Jason Olson says he's excited to host an in-person event again.
This is our first real event where we're actually engaged with the public, and we're ready to get back into it. Because this is what we do. This is what we're intended to do, and this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be doing fun things as a community, and yeah, super excited. I'm ready to get it going.
Masks are required, and the first 500 participants get a free Easter gift from a Norman business. How about that?
Sounds pretty good. Well, OU baseball takes a trip up to Stillwater to play in a brand new stadium.
Arnoldo, what's a 6 o'clock crosstown rivalry look like?
That's right, guys. The two will face off for the first time since 2019. And 2 teams punched their ticket to the Final Four. That and more after the break. Hello and welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Arnoldo Prieto Jr. here with updates in the sports world. Last night we saw the first half of the Elite 8 take to the court, and tonight we see the last 4 suit up. The USC Trojans go up against number 1 Gonzaga at 6:15 p.m. and UCLA plays Michigan at 8:57 p.m. The Zag and Big Blue are considered the favorites, but Evan Mobley and Tiger Campbell may have something to say about that. And before we keep moving forward, let's go back to last night. The Baylor Bears led the Arkansas Razorbacks the entire way in a dominating fashion, finishing their win off with a final score of 81-72. And the Houston Cougars took down Oregon State 67-61 in a defensive battle and survived a strong comeback from the Beavers in the second half. This will be Houston's first Final Four appearance since the Phi Slamma Jamma era in 1984. Coach Kelvin Sampson was proud of the team for their fight they showed this season.
For this team to be 28-3 and going to the Final Four, this is one of the greatest accomplishments I've been around. And I have this group of players and this staff, everyone on this staff, all the players to thank for it. I'm glad they let me go along on the ride with them.
And another Player of the Week honor for Sooner Jocelyn Alo. Alo gets the accolade for the second time in the past 3 weeks. The honor comes after her dominant performance as she led the Sooners to a sweep over Iowa State. Alo and the Sooners will hope to continue their success against Kansas in a matchup on Thursday. Staying on the plate, the Sooner baseball team faces off against rival Oklahoma State. This will be the first Bedlam matchup since their meeting in 2019 after the cancellation of the 2020 season. The game is set for 6 p.m. in the brand new O'Brate Stadium. And hopping over to the NBA, the Thunder took a loss at home to the Mavericks 127-106. OKC battled being down 3 starters, including guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's still missing time with a right foot injury. This marks the Thunder's 3rd straight loss, and they will look to bounce back tomorrow against the Raptors. Last night, the UConn Huskies got the win over Baylor in the Women's Elite Eight to punch their ticket to the Final Four, but not without some controversy. Last few seconds of the game, Baylor guard Dejanay Carrington appeared to be fouled by 2 Husky players on her final shot. However, no foul was called, and UConn took the win, leading to an argument over the 69-67 final. And NFL fans can now enjoy one more game in the regular season as the NFL has agreed to add a 17th game. However, although you and I may love it, numerous players are upset, including Saints running back Alvin Kamara and Seahawks QB Russell Wilson. The announcement was made earlier today by the league and will begin starting next season. And while NFL teams wait for the season to begin in hopes of winning a championship, Bruce Arians is celebrating his team's victory in his own way. The Buccaneers head coach sports a tattoo of the Super Bowl win after a promise he made to get one if his team was crowned champion. Let's just be glad he got the tattoo after he won and not before. Shannon, Audrey, back to you at the desk.
Audrey, I know it was a bet, but I wonder if Tom Brady and Gronk decided to get the same tattoo.
Well, I mean, I think if I won a Super Bowl, I'd be thinking about getting a tattoo too.
I can agree with you on that one for sure. Well, stick with us to find out what's going on after the break.
I'm Noah Mack at the OU Nightly Update Desk. All 50 states plan to expand COVID vaccine eligibility to everyone 16 and older. Many states are already offering all citizens vaccination appointments, while the rest have plans to follow in the next couple of months. The Biden administration is pausing student loan interest and collections after an announcement made today. Federal student loan borrowers won't need to make payments until October 1st at the earliest. Back to the desk.
Well, I've never been a big thrift shopper, but I think after hearing this story, I might be, because a Goodwill employee right here in Norman found $42,000 stashed away in between 2 sweaters at a Goodwill. Andrea Lessing was sorting through a pile of donations when she found the wad of money.
And instead of keeping the money for herself, she returned it to its owner. And as a reward, the owner let Lessing keep $1,000. You may be wondering why she returned the money, but it was to teach her 6-year-old daughter a lesson about honesty. How cute is that?
Well, Colton, we know what to dress for the Easter egg hunt, but what should we wear for the rest of the week?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about springtime here in Oklahoma. We're usually talking about storm after storm after storm. Not right now. We're hanging, like I said earlier, high and dry, looking at above average temperatures over the next 2 weeks. And as far as precip, well, we're going to be hanging right around average. And so for this time of the year, that means a little bit of rain, but we're not tracking any major storms in the forecast as we head throughout, well, the next, at least this week and really into next week either. So talking about 70 degrees this weekend, and the Easter holiday looks beautiful. Ladies, back to you.
Well, I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to the weekend, that warm weather. Colton, I hate that you had to say that it had to rain a little bit, so.
But I think it'll be perfect for some Easter celebrations.
I know, thank gosh. I'm so excited for Easter. Get to go home.
Hunt some Easter eggs, maybe.
Oh my gosh, maybe I'll find $42,000.
Well, thanks for watching OU Nightly. Catch us tomorrow, same time, same place.
Have a good night.